Hello and welcome to the Embroidered Elephant channel. My name is Kim and thank you for joining me for another video where I am going to go through my current crochet whips, my current planned projects, my stash a little bit, and all of the patterns that I've got as well planned for the year. So this isn't necessarily going to be a how-to guide. This is based on a Notion template by Coley, which I will be linking below. For me, it's been excellent. It's been really helpful. It helps to see all of the yarn that I've got and all of the patterns that I've got for various different things as well, and where to find them. So I store a lot of my patterns online, which means that I pop a little link to the patterns, or if they're stored on a hard drive, I've popped in there sort of whereabouts they are so that I can find them easily when it comes to it. This will be sort of a whistle-stop tour of all of my projects. I would talk you through them all, and I think it'll be quite interesting to come back in 6 months' time or in a year's time and just go through the projects that I've still got there, how many yarn entries I've got, etc. So hopefully you enjoy this video. So if this works well, hopefully you are seeing me and my screen. Let me just start recording. So in the last couple of months, I have been using a website called Notion to organise a lot of my crochet related goals. So this includes a section for my current whips, my planned projects, my stash without a pattern, and my pattern without a stash. So I was just going to walk you through it because a lot of my goals are captured on this planner. So hopefully you find it interesting. So here you will see my Notion page. It's not mine, it was taken from another YouTuber, through a link from another YouTuber, so I will pop that in. So it is called My Crochet Hub. So I've got my current whips, my planned projects, my stash, and my want to crochet. So just to show you where I am this year, so I've got 8 works in progress. Oh, that can be deleted. There we go. So far this year, or going into 2024, I've got 7 crochet whips. So the first one is a beige cardigan. Now this is just the sleeve, but you will see from the picture it is absolutely massive. So my plan is to frog it down to the cuff and redo it. I haven't got around to it yet because I know how long I've spent doing that, but I know that I won't wear a cardigan with a sleeve that is that big. It's probably 4 times the size of my arm. The next one is my Joe's Cozy Toes, a pair of sister socks. I've got one of the socks done. I just need to finish the other one. I've got second sock syndrome, I think, which means I finished the first one. I feel like I've achieved that, so I leave the next one for much longer than it needs to be. The next one is a Holdra sweater. So this is absolutely beautiful. It's the start of a sweater. I don't know if you can see clearly here. It's absolutely beautiful, but it is so difficult. And because I started doing this so long ago, I believe that I have done some of the stitches wrong. And because this fingering weight yarn is held double with, what's this called? The fluff. Oh, I won't be able to think of what the name is now. Mohair. Because the fingering weight yarn is all held double with mohair, it means that it is more difficult to pull back the stitches because the mohair starts to felt together, and is not as strong as regular yarn. So I will be frogging this back. I don't know what I'll do with it because I've got all of the yarn specifically to make this project, but maybe I can make another similar crochet jumper, but we will see. Next one was an improvised red jumper. This is made of red acrylic from Hobby, I believe. So this is just the bottom, it's working from the bottom up. The reason I stopped this is because I picked it up again after a long time and I forgot what hook I was using. So I'm not quite sure whether this brown hook is the right one or whether it's the wrong one, and yeah, I'll just have to see. I think maybe do a little gauge swatch on the side of here just to see if it's the same size or not. But that's a jumper that is definitely in progress. How it's going to look, I don't know. This is a beach bag. It's improvised, so I've got the thicker not rope but macrame cord, and I've been crocheting around it with red cotton. So this is the base, and then I am going to work the bag up. But this is sort of 25% done, so still a long way to go. I'd say the jumper was about 25% as well. Next one is what I call the Portugal shirt. So this is yarn from Portugal, could you guess? And it is mungo yarn. They're 240 yards each, and I've got 3. So I've got this orange colour, the black colour, the orange, white and black colour. I started making a shirt and I don't know how it went so disastrously wrong. It is so not straight, it's just a simple stitch. So I am going to pull it back, and I've bought a pattern since then that I hope will be perfect for this yarn. And it will make it a nicer shape as well, and hopefully take some of the guesswork out of it. So my plan is to have the orange at the top, the mixed one in the middle, and the black at the bottom, or vice versa. So that needs to be ripped back, so technically it's not started yet. And the last one was my crochet Christmas paper chain, which I'm sure you've probably seen. This isn't mine. I haven't taken a picture of mine yet, but yeah, I just need to finish that off probably close to Christmas because I'm a bit tired of it at the moment. The next one is my planned projects, and I'm not going to go into all of these because they are very much the same. So the first one I have in my planned project is scrappy socks. So every time I make a pair of socks, I have saved the ends of them, and they're usually split into 2 sections because I split the yarn in half to make the 2 socks with, so that I can work on them at the same time. So I've got lots of yarn there. I think I've got 100 grams, 22, 6. I think I've got about, yeah, I'll say I've got about 100 grams, so I can make those. I just need to find a good pattern that I can get on with. Next one is the Australia Sister Socks. So these, literally, as you can see, it's just yellow and blue yarn. It's cotton, I think, Australian Super Savers yarn. So I'm going to alternate the heels and the cuff and the colour of the socks so that they match in a way. I haven't got a pattern for those, hence I haven't started yet. You will see a theme with these as well. Next one is a crochet jumper. So I've got lots of yarn, 3, 4, over 1,000 grams, so that's definitely enough to make a jumper with. My preference would probably be to keep it blue, but we will see. This was all bought secondhand, so it doesn't look very comfy, but once it's been washed a few times it really is comfy. Next one is some socks. So again, this is some sock yarn and some minis, and that's most of my projects, to be honest. So we've got this one here, which is a brown felt fusion and a red felt fusion. Thought they'd be quite Christmassy. Got Somerset yarns, and I'm not sure where this little one came from. Nora George yarns with a little green. The Mouse House, I think it's called. Yellow and a little yellow skein. This was Somerset yarns, jellyfish, and a little sort of coordinating one. A Nora George blue yarn and a mini. Blue Ferns yarns and a mini. And Bellica yarns and a mini. So in total I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 socks to make. So unless I make one a month, I might be out of luck really. Next on my planned projects is the Yarn Me Sane kit. So this was an advent calendar. I love all the colours. So I am planning on making a Battenberg cake with these. I've got the pattern below just to show you what it is. Next was a Toft kit for foxgloves. This was from one of their recent patterns, which was in my garden, I believe. So I've got the pinks and the greens. It's an amigurumi. Next, not much to say, a cat bum coaster. So you can make some coasters with a cat bum in it. If you want to know what it looks like, look it up on Google. Hopefully I don't have to explain what a cat bum looks like. So next is a kit. It's called the Kevin hat. It is absolutely beautiful, but it is knit. So I need to man up and try it really. Next one is again some amigurumi. These were meant to be finished for Christmas, but you know. This is Woolly Chick Designs. So we've got some crochet robins. So it should be enough to make 4. I'm not 100%, but she said definitely it will be enough to make 4. So we will see. Next is a corner to corner blanket. Again, there's not too much to see. I bought some yarn. I started making a granny square jumper, but looking at the way that the colours sort of went together, I thought it would be nicer as a corner to corner jumper, corner to corner blanket. Next one is an amigurumi kit. It's called Ziggy Giraffe and it's by Hooked. So very simple. Little giraffe and some yellow yarn. It's quite thick, to be honest. I think it's cotton. And the last one is a Toft mushroom kit. So if you've seen recently, let's say recently, in October, Toft did a mystery box. So you could either get a treat, which was something nice with I don't know, a yarn voucher, really gorgeous hand-dyed yarn, etc. Or you could get a trick, which was a mushroom kit. Now, although yellow wouldn't be my first choice, I do quite like mushrooms. I like the aesthetic of them, so I'm quite interested to crochet this one up. So those are my planned projects. Then I'm not going to go through everything in my stash, but I've got quite a lot of cotton. I did count them and I've got 30 balls or logs of fingering weight yarn, 126 of DK, 16 of Aran and 1 that's unknown. So that is a lot. That is a lot of yarn, and my plan is to get rid of, I won't say a majority of it, I will say half of it. So 46, 47, it's 173, I think, 173 individual entries. So some of these have more than one in them. So this one, for example, there's 6 balls of this. So I might see if I can individually count them. I thought it would, well, it's definitely easier to just sort of count the entries, but I will count them and put the number below. My plan is to hopefully get rid of, say, most of these. Say, sort of, I want a stash of 100. 100 different entries would be great, because then I know that the entries that I do have, they are all the same yarn, so they will all be for the same project. Side note, I've got some ribbon yarn from my partner's family member. I have no idea what to do with it. It's sort of, it's flat and there's quite a lot of it. Has anyone got any idea what I could use it for? Maybe a market bag or something similar. I don't know if it was specifically manufactured for something. If it was and you have any ideas, please pop them below, because I'm at a bit of a loss. I've looked up ribbon yarn, haven't really gotten anywhere, not gonna lie. And that moves us on to the final section of my Notion, which is want to crochet. So these are all the patterns I have that I do want to make. So the first one is the Calm crop top. So this is one of the options for the Portugal top and the Heidi crop top, which again is another option. I think this is my preference just because the scalloped edging is lovely. They use the same amount of yarn, so I'll have to see whether I meet gauge with that. So those are both semi-planned. Next is the Rainbow blanket by Lottie and Albert, or she's also got a cushion. I absolutely love this because I believe that you hold 6 or 7 different yarns together, so it's a good way to get rid of a lot of scrap. So I'll be giving that a go. Some people buy new yarn for it so that it's all colour coordinated. I love the idea of that, but that is not the point of going through stash. Going through the stash is not to add to stash as well. It's a stash busting project, so I'm going to use it as a stash busting project. Next, again, Lottie and Albert, this is the mid-mod blanket. So I have made this before. I've made a cushion as a pattern tester. I absolutely loved it, and if I were to stash bust this year, this is definitely one of the patterns that I would look into using, especially for acrylic. It goes really well with it, and it's got this beautiful border as well. Next, again, Lottie and Albert, they just so happen to fall next to each other, is this market bag. It takes Aran weight cotton, approximately 500 grams, so I'm going to look through my stash and see whether I've got anything that's similar. I don't think it particularly needs to be cotton, but I think cotton is longer wearing, so. Next, Spiral Socks Ooh I Love It patterns. These have a spiral at the base and they work up. They're apparently quite easy to make, and because they are made with acrylic yarn that looks DK as well, they should be fairly easy to crack up sort of in an afternoon or such. So they're definitely there. I'm interested to see how quickly I can make a pair of socks. Next, Lottie and Albert again, is a Monstera headdress pattern. So I haven't made this yet. I would love to make some of the Monstera leaves because they're really pretty. They look quite simple to crochet up as well. What I would do with them, I'm not entirely sure, but I can find something. Now this is a headband pattern I use quite often. It's a hobby pattern. It's so simple and you don't need too much. You just need some mohair. You just need some mohair and then you can sort of whip one up. It doesn't take long at all. It's not complicated either. So I've kept that there because I will probably be making more headbands this year. Next is holiday socks from Hobby. These are absolutely beautiful. They look very intricate. 2 skeins of finger weight yarn, so it needs 100 grams in total. But obviously you'd need to have a few different colours for this. So I think this, although it's quite clear, it's quite difficult to see. The toes are black, and there's white and dark red, sort of. That's the rest of the sock. So I'll need a couple of different colours for that. Next is the Amelie sweater, again Hobby by Miss Beetle. This looks really, it looks like a really nice pattern. It needs 16 balls, 7 25 gram balls, 9 50 gram balls. I believe that's mohair and probably wool fingering weight yarn. So again, this might be a good pattern for the big cones that I've got to whip up. I'm sure I can whip it up with one of the cones that I've got, or even the yellow yarn that I've got if I've got enough. So I'll have a look at that. Next is the Huldra sweater. Again, this is in my naughty pile because it's quite complex. I thought I'd be able to do it, but I think it might have defeated me for the moment. The next one is a Rikurumi kangaroo with suitcase. So I downloaded this free. I don't have any intention of making it soon, but it's there if I want to make it. Oh, I've got a lot. Next is the Sweetheart shawl. So as it sounds, it's a shawl pattern, and I think this will be a good way to get rid of some yarn. So it's sock weight 3 skeins, so I'm not sure how much it needs, but I will have a look into that a little bit more. Next is the Light Snowflake crochet sweater by Ashley L. So this is made with faux fur yarn. I think I started to make it, I realised how impossible it was to see stitches with faux fur yarn, and it went back in my 2-try pattern. So now that I'm a bit more experienced, I can give that a try and see whether there's any tricks that I can think of to make it. Next is We Care fruit net. Very simple. It's a net that holds fruit. There's nothing really special about it. It's just to take it to the shop if I need one. Next, tie knot headbands by Lottie and Albert. These look quite fun to make and an easy way to accessorise. So I've got a dress at the moment that I absolutely love. I feel every time I wear it I need a headband, so this would be a great one to find some yarn in my stash that I love and coordinates with my dress, and I can make it. I think this is just crocheted over a normal headband, so it can hold its structure. Next one, bit of a weird one, 70s crochet chevron maxi dress. So I thought that this was really cool. Whether I make it or not is another matter. It's very retro. It would definitely be a statement piece, but I'm not too sure for now. Maybe even just as a beach top, or maybe a bit of a shorter dress, but we will see. Next is crochet mesh bags. So again, this was from a seller on Etsy. So quite simple really. This is Past Patterns Palooza. So you've got some potatoes, onions, etc. I thought they were quite cool. Next is a cardinal kitchen set. So this has a this has a lot. Pot holder, it has a placemat, I think that's a teapot cozy, and maybe napkin rings. Worsted weight, I think this would probably be better with cotton, but it depends what you're using it for. I just love the design of the cardinal, and reminded me of being in America, so. Next, Crochet Women's off the shoulder midriff ruffle. So I like the design of this. If I made it, I would probably make it longer, because that's my preference of tops, is wearing them a bit longer. But it's really pretty. Next is a Crochet Daisy Field doily. It's a bit of a mouthful. So these are all crocheted up individually and then attached together. I really like daisies, so what I'm going to use it for I'm not sure, but I really like them. Again, Crochet Christmas cornucopia pockets. So these are granny squares that are attached at one side. They are really pretty, and it's a great way to use up stash yarn. Step and Texture hat, so this is from Ravelry, or Burnout Yarns I think it's from. This uses super chunky king coal. Oh no, it doesn't. That's what I was going to use, but I've got rid of that. I didn't like it. So this is one that doesn't currently have any yarn to go with it, but again, because all of my yarn is catalogued, I can use it there. Next, Promenade market bag. So this again is quite simple. It needs 100 grams. Oh, 200 grams. So that's pretty. Next one, sunflower dish towel. So I really loved the design of this, and I think it will be quite quick, quite simple to crochet up. It needs 160 yards, 6 yards, 30 yards and 110 yards. So I'll need to have a look at the yardage on my stash and see what I can make it with. Next is the Battenberg blanket. So this is the one that I spoke about earlier that I'm going to make with the advent I got from, can't remember the name, the advent calendar I got with all the sock weight yarns in it. So 120 squares are needed for a blanket, but obviously this is a scrappy project, so you can make as many squares as you want and sort of fill in the gaps really. Dish towel, again this is simple, but I really liked the design of it and I wanted to know how to make a dish towel, especially for sort of presents and things like that. Lace page marker, I absolutely love this. I just need to do it. I don't think it'll be as complicated as I think, because it's predominantly single and double crochets. This is available free online from Blue Star Crochet. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing one of those this year. Corner to corner blanket. So this is what I am going to do with my colourful yarn, so the rainbow yarn that I've got. So I'll start that this year as well. Candy stripe blanket. I really liked this. I really love this pattern, but I especially love it in the colourway that it's got. I don't need that many blankets. I don't think anyone would need that many blankets, but it's just so gorgeous. So I've saved it in the hopes that one day I'll buy yarn that's perfect for this project. So you need 5 balls in total, and because I live in the UK, Karen cakes are more expensive. I believe that's why anyway. Maybe they're expensive in America as well, but I get the impression they're not. And it would have cost me a lot of money to make a blanket that I don't need, so. And the last one, I have made these before, but they're definitely something I'm going to make again because I've got loads of cotton and I've got loads of sort of scrubby cotton as well. So this is a pattern again from mypoppet.com, crochet dishcloths. Thank you very much for watching my explanation of my Notion page. Hopefully you found it quite interesting to look through sort of how I do everything, what I've currently got planned, and really see the organisation hopefully that I've got this year. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe or like the video. Reach out if you've got any questions or any suggestions at all. My email is below, as well as obviously the comment section. Other than that, I hope that you are all well. Take care. Bye.